Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. The champ, Lauren Price, joins me. Lauren, I appreciate you giving me some of your time. How's things?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good, thank you. Just got back from Mexico, recharged and ready to go back to camp.
We need to dive into Mexico before we talk boxing, right? Because you said it was an all-inclusive.
It was.
So I need details. I need the drinks you're getting. We talking buffet every day?
Tequila.
Tequila, yeah?
A few shots of tequila.
Vulture in Mexico.
Be rude, innit?
Get it, yeah.
But yeah, you know, all inclusive. Hot dogs, burgers, you know, ice cream.
So you were listening to Claressa Shields whilst you were out there. Trying to pack them pounds on and eat them burgers.
Something like that.
Yeah. Is it nice to, well, I say is it nice? It must be nice to get away after a hard training camp and I guess a bit of an intense build-up as the fights get bigger, the media obligations get more and whatnot. There was a little bit of spice in the build-up as well. Nice to forget about boxing for a second?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think more so you got to switch off mentally. You know, back-to-back camps, a box in December, then obviously straight back in then after Christmas for the Jonas fight. So yeah, it was nice just to, you know, get away, have a bit of sun, switch off from boxing and yeah, come back and ready to go.
What's the response been like from the public and the fans to that win?
Oh, crazy. I think, you know, I proved a lot of people that, you know, my performance with Jonas, that even though I've only had 9 pro fights, I am where I am in my career and I backed up what I was gonna do. And yeah, the support, you know, it's been phenomenal. Even though I'm Welsh, I had a lot of British fans as well, you know, buy tickets off me in regards to English, Scottish, Irish. They come out and, you know, supported me as well. So I'm very grateful, not just to be Welsh, but British. And, you know, my fan base just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, in terms of Tash, did you two speak directly after the fight? Have you spoken since? And how is it between you two?
You know, we spoke in the ring, but no, I haven't spoken to her since, you know, but, you know, there was never no bad blood there anyway. It was just, you know, it was a fight.
Big fight, so.
Big fight, people talk. I think Joe probably done more talking than Tash. But yeah, you know, I wish her the best wherever she does next.
Did it make the win even sweeter, the things that come? And you mentioned Joe, so I'll go to some of the stuff that he said, you not turning up for the face-off, the scales, the claims from him that you'd been dropped in sparring, all of that stuff. Did that just add a little sweet touch? Not that it's about him or Tash or her team, but did that just add a little sweet touch to that night?
I'll be honest, right? Like everything he was saying, I was just laughing at because I'm laid back as it is, and like obviously Rob McCracken, he's my trainer, he's laid back as well, and you know it was funny in the end because I just thought that he was just trying to do anything he could just to offset me. But I'm experienced in that way as well, like not to rise to it. And yeah, you know, I didn't take, you know, anything personal. So no, I'd probably say no, but obviously, you know, just to get that win and to do it at the Royal Albert Hall was an unbelievable night. And, you know, I always believed in myself and I knew I was going to get that win and take them belts back to Wales.
Yeah, brilliant performance, and I guess you now look towards even bigger things. One of them things, potentially Mikaela Meyer, just quickly covering, or say quickly, as in-depth as you'd like, covering her victory over Sandy Ryan. Just putting a convincing end to that saga between those two. What did you make of Mikaela's performance? I
thought she boxed very well. She started fast. You know, she worked well on the inside. She put her combinations together. She put the pressure on Ryan. And I'd probably say, you know, she won quite comfortable. Possibly, you know, she might have lost a couple of rounds towards the end, but that was just because of, you know, her output at the start. But yeah, she done what she needed to do and, you know, good performance.
Was it you that said, see you soon, let's get it? Or something along those lines? It was either you or her. There was a very short, snappy quote, getting thrown about.
See you soon, let's get it on, or something like that. But nothing personal, you know, I respect. I think she's a great role model inside and outside the ring, and it makes for a great fight. Soon as you know, after the Jonas fight, I said I want the winner, Maya and Ryan, and then obviously she'd come out and said she wants to fight me, and you know the fans had jumped on her already. I was in Tesco's yesterday, and people were saying to me like, "Oh, when's the fight happening?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, we haven't even spoke about it." Like, you know, but it's going to happen. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'll be there, you know, supporting. So, yeah, it's great, you know. It's a great fight to make, and it's massive for, you know, world boxing.
It might be a bit of a problem with what you just said. The fans are now going to be waiting around Tesco's in Newport, Cardiff, wherever it is. Like, they would have presumed probably that you were getting a home delivery, but you're going to have people with boxing gloves waiting outside for signatures.
Yeah, that happens, to be fair. But
has it been getting more and more as you've
it has, yeah, but it's something that I love, you know, because without fans, we don't have our nights to shine, and I'm very grateful, you know, for people coming out and watching and supporting, so I'll always, you know, give my time.
In terms of you and Mikaela, is there any history or conversations you've had prior to, obviously, the fact that, you know, you're now a fight that people are kind of desperate to see? Is there any history that you can go back to, or...?
No, like, as in, obviously, like, we sparred years ago on the amateur scene, but nothing, you know, we were in different weights. I know it's nothing there, and there's always been respect there, and obviously, like, Al Mitchell, her trainer, is very good friends with, obviously, Rob McCracken as well. So, yeah, there's definitely, you know, there's mutual respect there between us all. But at the end of the day, it's boxing, and it's a big fight to be made, and a fight I believe I win.
Yeah. A fight you both really want, but I guess the one potential stumbling block is going to be where it is.
Yep.
You obviously want to fight at home, Cardiff City Stadium, a big possibility. She's going to want it stateside and perhaps lean on the experiences she's had in the UK to say why it should be there. How does this get settled? Because you both got belts, so where is the settling point on where this fight takes place, do you think?
Well, I look at it as she got 1 belt, I've got 5. So, I'm the champ.
Pretty simple equation.
Yeah.
5 is bigger than 1.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it going to come down to financials though? Probably, I guess.
Probably. But like I said, that's obviously for, you know, Ben to sort out with obviously Top Rank and Rob and her team, and you know, lots of stuff happens behind the scenes. But you know, as a boxer, everyone wants to box at home.
Yeah. But I guess you've got big dreams to box stateside too. I know there's a Claressa fight there as well. If that stateside fight is to come next, I know there's obviously not going to be any complaints.
They have to pay me a lot of money for me to go over there.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
And I guess she'll want a lot of money to...
Yeah.
It's a big money fight, is what we're...
It's a big money fight, and I think we both deserve to get paid well.
Yeah. In terms of Claressa Shields, like I said, she was it hamburgers or whatever she said about cheeseburgers, about having to put some weight on to make that fight between you two. Is that something that we've just got to kind of wait 18 months, 2 years for, or is that something that is possible for the near future, despite the kind of weight disparity?
Yeah, you know, anything can happen in boxing, but that's definitely a fight that I would love. You know, I respect, I think she's a great fighter, and I think it's, a great fight to make. Obviously, both winning gold, double Olympic champion, you know, me winning gold in Tokyo at middleweight as well. So, yeah, my main focus is on, you know, becoming undisputed, and then, you know, after that, I might have, you know, who knows, 2 fights. Boxing, we don't know, but definitely, you know, there's definitely a potential fight there, which I would love.
Yeah, do you look at these big fights and see perhaps the storyline of 2 or 3 fights? Boxing's built on rivalries, and if you look at all the best throughout the years in both male and female boxing, it's the rivalries that you remember. So do you even look at Mikaela Mayer and think, actually, there's possibility that we might fight where you want and we might fight where I want?
Yeah, definitely. You know, like Hearn Sandy had 2 fights. And yeah, that's, you know, when you look at the depth of women's boxing as well, there's very few, I suppose, elite fighters. And, you know, to do 2, 3, look at Katie Taylor, Serrano, great fight. Definitely, there's obviously potential there for that.
Do you play these fights out in your head? Like how they might go, and are you one of them who visualises? Like, can you picture Mikaela in front of you and what works, what doesn't? And
yeah, but I don't really look into that too much, if I'm honest. I just kind of focus on Southpaw orthodox and just focus on, you know, what works for me, the blueprint, you know, tick the boxes, do the training, get my sparring in. On the night, I'll shine.
Someone as good as you are, you do make it sound very, very simple. I've got to finish by talking about the Olympics. Big bonus at the Olympics. Boxing is going to stick in the Olympics for Los Angeles in 2028. Really exciting prospect in that sense, and would have been a big miss. Look at the fighters in this country that we've had who've medalled gold, silver, bronze, and have gone on to achieve. Thank God, almost, that boxing stays as an Olympic sport.
Yeah, it's a blessing, I was all for it. Even the likes, you look at Floyd Mayweather, Usyk, Lomachenko. You don't get no greater experience than becoming an amateur, travelling the world, going to training camps, going to, world championships, Europeans, and Olympic Games. It's the pinnacle of the sport, and it's massive. You come across, you learn how to fight, you learn how to box all different styles. And like you said, the best pro fighters, that's comes out of the professional ranks have gone, more or so have gone to the Olympics when you look at it. And yeah, it would have killed the sport. It would have killed kids' dreams, people's dreams. And I'm just grateful that, that they are supporting it and it's gonna stay in.
Yeah. Obviously, your amateur career extends beyond the Olympics. Like you said, there's world championships and amateur championships, etc. But let's just say Lauren Price never goes to the Olympics. How far would that set you back as a professional?
Believe? Massively. I'd probably be in a leisure centre, misfits, who knows?
Yeah. I think you might clean up, potentially, if you went to misfits. Yeah. But it's just that Olympic medal, even when it comes, I guess, signing with a promoter, it's that Olympian status.
Definitely, it's a massive... there's no bigger accolade. No matter what I go on in the pro ranks to do, no matter who I beat, nothing is going to beat that Olympic gold medal. To go and travel the world, people don't understand how hard and how tough amateur boxing is. The skill, when you even look at it from a female point of view, a male point of view, you go into Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, training camps. In this country, we have like maybe 2 at one weight. You go there, they've got 8 and they're all brilliant. So as you can imagine, it is hard.
Yeah. Lauren, you're a star. I really appreciate your time, and we look forward to whatever's next, because of course it's going to be huge.
Thank you very much. Thank you.